Hello, welcome to my channel. Today, we will see how tuna fish is caught and processed in the factory. Tuna is a high sea fish in shoals in the tropical and temperate seas. Since tuna fish is caught commercially, in this case, many fishermen catch tuna fish with fishing nets. In addition, many ships catch tuna by adjusting cranes. These ships are called fishing ships. They have special refrigerator rooms for storing fish. Tuna fish are stored here. Tuna fish stored in fishing vessels are filled into containers through conveyors. The Atlantic bluefin tuna is one of the tuna species that are regularly caught for commercial purposes. In tuna, typically a tuna fish weighs more than 150 kilograms. These containers filled with tuna are lifted by forklifts onto special covered van trucks to be sent to the factory. Trucks loaded with tuna from the port arrive at the factory, and these tuna are lifted onto the factory line by forklifts that transport the tuna to the factory. Then these containers filled with tuna are taken to the storeroom of the factory by forklift and stored. Basically, the temperature of the factory storeroom is below -18 degrees Celsius, so these fish are stored in the factory for a long time. Now we'll see how these tuna fish are cut in the factory, and their parts are separated, so these fish are taken to the factory cutting plant, where hundreds of workers work only to cut the fish. The workers first separate the tail and the head parts of the tuna through the cutting machine. Then, using a machine, the tuna is cut along the spine and divided into 4 parts. The spine is removed from each piece of tuna. The workers separate the belly of the tuna fish, which you can see on the screen. The workers then skinned the tuna with their own hands using scissors. In some factories, these jobs are done through robotic hands. Later, a shaping machine is used to fix the shape of the tuna fish meat. Then here comes the tuna fish fillet with the line. Where workers assemble the meats into trays based on the size and weight of the pieces of tuna meats. Later, tray rollers filled with meat are transported to the heating plant. Workers then put these emulsions into a tank, where the temperature is above 100 degrees Celsius. As a result, tuna meat is easily cooked, which is then marketed through various processes in the factory, which will now be shown. A worker brings the meat from the steaming plant to the assembly plant, which is the last step of tuna fish processing. Here, basically, large pieces of tuna fish meat are cut into smaller, medium-sized pieces. When meat is brought here after boiling, burn marks remain. To remove these marks, workers gently lift the charred parts of the meat with a stretcher. These clean meats are then packed into boxes, and a worker prints the serial number through the machine and affixes it to the box. Later, he puts these boxes on the line. Workers arrange the tuna meats on a line attached to a roller. As a result, the meat is crushed under the roller, and then the container is filled with minced tuna meats by the machine. These containers are filled with a little water so that the tuna meat stays fresh for a long time. In addition, a certain amount of medicine is added to this water, which helps to destroy microorganisms. Then these steel containers are covered by automatic machines. The lid is welded around by applying pressure through another machine so that it fits snugly on the container. Then the containers are thoroughly washed with water. After these containers are spotless, they go through the line to the workers of the heating plant. In the tray roller, these containers are arranged and filled by workers. Then those are kept in the heating tank. These hot containers are taken out of the tank and cooled with water. To dry these wet containers, the air is given through a fan in the factory. As a result, the containers are completely dry. Then each container goes to the leveling machine through the leveling line. The function of the leveling machine is to apply the leveling sticker to the container. Company name, manufacturing date, expiry date, etc. are written on the sticker. Then these steel containers filled with tuna meat are directly filled in paper boxes, which are marketed later. On the other hand, tuna meat mince is dried through the machine. These dry minced ingredients are taken to the filling plant to fill the jar. After filling the jar with dried tuna meat mince, these jars go to the capping machine through the line. After sealing the mouth of the jar with a cap through the capping machine, the jars are again taken to the heating plant. These jars are placed inside the tank to destroy the remaining surviving microorganisms. Now, these dry tuna mincemeats are ready for sale in the market. Besides, small pieces of the whole tuna are sold in the market, the process of which we'll see now. First, the factory workers cut the fish meat into small pieces by hand, then arrange these small pieces of meat nicely in the container, which looks a lot like a cake. Then the workers put these containers on the line. These containers are covered by an automatic capping machine. Then these containers are taken to the heating plant through forklifts. Containers filled with tuna meats are placed inside the heating tank. After disinfection, they are sent for packaging. Then leveling is done by a leveling machine on the bodies of these containers. These containers are filled in paper boxes and machines wrapped with polythene. The tracking number on them is sealed by an automatic machine. The size and weights of tuna containers vary according to the size of the meats. Containers weigh from 89 grams to 1,000 grams respectively. Now, this tuna fish meat is sold in the ready market. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoy it. For more of this type of video, stay with us.